Hello guys, today we're gonna explain the thyroid hormone, okay? As we know, thyroid hormone of course is gonna get secreted from thyroid gland. That's no problem with it. We got two main thyroid hormone, T3 and T4, okay? T3 and T4 are the two main thyroid hormone and we're gonna link them with a specific character that we know from the internet. So how we gonna link that? We're gonna say T3 is Andrew Tate and T4 is Christine Tate. They are two brothers, okay, which are so different in their characters, but they are like do the same function, do the like their goal is the same, okay? So T3 is Andrew Tate and T4 is Christian Tate. As we know, Andrew Tate is more active than Christian Tate. He's the one who's working. He's the one who he's doing all the hard job. He's the one is all the company, all their richness is based on. So we can say that T3 is more active than T4, which means Andrew Tate is more active than Christian Tate. Okay, so now we're gonna say that, like, of course, when there is people like Andrew Tate, there is not a lot of people look like them. So means there is less people that look like Andrew Tate, which means he's less numerous, and there is more people look like Christine Tate. How is that? As we know, Christine Tate is just following his big brother. So there is a lot of people that are following their big brother. They're not by themselves. So we can say there is more people look like them Christine Tate than people look like Andrew Tate, because he's more active. He's the one who's do hard job. He's the one who built like everything, and Christian Tate is just following him. So that's what I mean by that. Then we're gonna explain like what their benefits. What's the benefit of T3 and T4? What is the benefit of thyroid hormone? What is the benefit of Andrew Tate and Christian Tate? As we know, they are maintained the level of the metabolism in the body. How is that? Like how thyroid hormone can maintain the metabolism of the body? As we know, Andrew Tate, he's mediate. He wake up at the beginning of the morning, do all his job, and so he's need to mediate. As we know, anyone who's mediating, he gonna consume the oxygen, which mean he gonna breathe the oxygen. Anyone who's mediating, so we can say that Andrew Tate and Christine Tate or the thyroid hormone, they are very important for the consumption of the oxygen to the cell. Okay, then and they are also very important. As we know, anyone who's mediating, he gonna regulate his lipid and carbs metabolism. He need to regulate his metabolism so he can mediate for more time. And also, as we know, any people who's mediating, they're gonna get growth, they're gonna mature. So we can say that thyroid hormone are very important for growth and maturation. So how we're gonna summarize that very fast? We're gonna say thyroid hormone, which is Andrew Tate and Christian Tate, they like to mediate, and anyone who's mediating, he gonna consume oxygen, so he can he can mediate, and also they gonna regulate their lipids and carbs. You see, and also anyone who's mediate, he gonna get mature more, he gonna get growth more. Okay, so what else? As we can see, thyroid hormone are very important for fat catabolism. How is that? You see Andrew Tate, do you see any fat? There is no fat. All of that is a pure muscle. Andrew Tate take pure muscle. He have zero fats. How is that happening? He gonna increase the fat catabolism, which mean he break fat, whatever it take. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to have any belly in his stomach. So we can say that Andrew Tate, which is mean the thyroid hormone, like not just Andrew Tate, also Christine Tate, they gonna increase the fat catabolism. So they increase the fat catabolism. Let's symbolize this yellow thing as a fat. He gonna break it down, catabolize it, and make it very bad type of fat, which is this one. which is LDL, which is accumulate in art in blood vessels and make atherosclerosis. But the main thing I need you to focus on, like thyroid hormone, very important in fat catabolism. Whatever it take, even if he get a bad fat, he need a pure muscle. He doesn't want fat, so he gonna break it down to very bad type of fat, which is named as LDL, and he doesn't care about that. As you know, guys, um, Andrew Tate and Kristen Tate, they love coffee. They drink coffee every morning, as we see in their videos. They love coffee. And let's say coffee is glucose, you know? Like when you hear name glucose, which means coffee, okay? Coffee is glucose. Like just like, it's not real, but, you know, just to memorize it. So, you know, Andrew Tate and Kristen Tate love coffee, which means T3 and T4 love glucose. That's thing we need to know. So, if you love glucose, you need more of it. And they by what? By making gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis is sensitizing of glucose, which means making glucose. So T3 and T4 gonna increase gluconeogenesis to produce glucose, so they can drink it. When they drink it, what's gonna happen? They're gonna have energy. They need, why they drink coffee? Because they need energy. Coffee give them caffeine, and caffeine, you know, keep you energized. So they also gonna increase glycolysis, which is breaking down of glucose to produce ATP, which is mean having more energy. Okay, that's how we link it. T3 and T4 um, uh, produce glucose by gluconeogenesis, then break the glucose to energy by glycolysis. Okay, which mean Kristen Tate and Andrew Tate love coffee, so they produce more coffee, and the coffee is gonna get transformed to energy, which means they to keep them energized. As we know, Andrew Tate and Kristen Tate, they doesn't love any car, just the Bugatti. They are too rich. They like Bugatti. They doesn't like any type of car. For example, Audi. They like see it as a crap car because it's too cheap and for them and all of that shit. So we can say like Andrew Tate and Kristen Tate love Bugatti and hate Audi. How we gonna link that? Like that. Let's say like Andrew Tate and Kristen Tate, they have Audi car. They doesn't have any Bugatti, so they doesn't like Audi car. So they gonna sell all of that. To who? To the bank. Who's the bank? The thyroid cell. So all the iodine or the Audi car, they're gonna go to the bank, which is the thyroid cells, okay, to produce a Bugatti, which is thyroglobin. Okay, how we summarize that? Just say Audi gonna get sold to the bank to produce Bugatti. Okay, iodine is gonna get sold to the bank, which is the thyroid cell, to produce thyroglobin. Thyroglobin is to Bugatti, is the Bugatti. So we can say T3 and T4, they use thyroglobin to get transported to the blood. Okay, they use, which mean Kristen Tate and Andrew Tate use Bugatti to get transport to the blood. Okay, that's all what we need to know. As we know, Andrew Tate and Kristen Tate, they spend time in jail and in the prison. So how we gonna link that? We need to know like there is albumin and thyroxine binding binding pre-albumin and thyroxine binding globulin. They are plasma protein. These albumin and thyroxine binding pre-albumin and thyroxine binding globulin, they are plasma protein. All of them are prison. Like albumin is a prison, thyroxine binding pre-albumin is a prison, thyroxine binding globulin is prisons. Okay, so you know, we in the prison, like we know, Andrew Tate and Kristen Tate, they spend time in the jail, and when you spend time in the jail, means you're gonna be less active. Okay, less active because you're in the jail, you can't do nothing. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to understand. So how we gonna link that to all the disease like we have? First thing we have is hepatic failure. Hepatic failure, which means the failure of the liver. um, when there is a hepatic failure, which mean, you know, Andrew Tate always talk about the system, the matrix, and all of that. When we say hepatic failure, which mean the system failure, when the system fail, of course they cannot put Andrew Tate and Kristen Tate in the jail. So if they are not in the prison, which means there is much more less albumin, thyroxine binding, pre-albumin and thyroxine binding globulin, which lead to the free of Andrew Tate and Kristen Tate, and they're gonna get freed in the blood because there's a failure of the system. That's the first thing. Another type of disease that can happen in the pregnancy, you know, they are accused of human trafficking. So if there is a pregnancy, we don't know what's happening. So Andrew Tate and Kristen Tate, they're gonna go back to the jail because there is a lot of albumin and thyroxine binding, pre-albumin and thyroxine binding globulin, which means all Kristen Tate, all Andrew Tate are going where? To the jail. Because of what? Because of the pregnancy. The gel is what? Is the plasma protein. This plasma protein, this is plasma protein. The plasma protein is the albumin and thyroxine binding, pre-albumin and thyroxine binding globulin. As we know, we got Andrew Tate and Kristen Tate, they are brother, and all of that we talk about. Um, if there is hyposecretion, which means there is less thyroid hormone, which means less Andrew Tate and less Kristen Tate, what's gonna happen to the adult and what's gonna happen to the infant? The adult, they're gonna go to the matrix, they're gonna get eaten by the matrix, you know, all of that, like Andrew Tate is talking about matrix and all of that. So all the adult is gonna go to the matrix, and we know like matrix edema. Matrix edema is a disorder which is there is hyposecretion of thyroid hormone. So max edema is happening because there is a hyposecretion of thyroid hormone, especially in adult, and we link them like matrix and edema. You know, edema that's happening like it's a disorder that's like accumulation of the fluids. So that's what's gonna happen to the adult. And if there is, of course, if there is like low amount of Andrew Tate and Kristen Tate, what's gonna happen to the infant or the children? They're gonna become racists, which mean a disorder called creatinism. Okay, so just remember, when there is a hyposecretion, which is mean there is a small amount of thyroid hormone like T3 and T4 in adult, a specific disorder called maxedema is occur, and in infant, in children, a specific disorder called creatinism is occur. Creatinism is racism, you know, children can be racist, and maxedema is the matrix, and edema. For hypersecretion, if there is a lot of Andrew Tate, a lot of Kristen Tate, which mean the matrix or the system gonna try to kill them or put them in the prison. Of course, if they're gonna kill them, they're gonna go to the graveyard, and if they go to the graveyard, it's gonna make specific disease called the Graves disease. So when there is a hypersecretion of thyroid hormones, it's gonna make a Graves disease. When there is a lot of Andrew Tate, Kristen Tate, means the matrix gonna attack them, which can make them go to the graveyard. And as we know, when there is a hyposecretion, which means less amount of Kristen Tate and Andrew Tate, when they are like in small amount, what is gonna happen to the people? They're gonna become lazy. The people gonna gain weight. Okay, there is no androtate and crescentate. People gonna become lazy, people gonna get fat, and people gonna get intolerance to cold. That's the most important thing that can happen. While if there is a lot of androtate and a lot of crescentate, what is gonna happen? Which means there's a lot of thyroid hormone. You're gonna lose weight, become more muscular. You're gonna get sweat. They're gonna train, lose weight, sweating, and they have high pressure. High blood pressure because you train, you sweat, so you're gonna have high blood pressure.